All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we got a treat for you. Now, a few, weeks ago or so, we made some content with the young lady that's on the screen here. I didn't know her name. That everybody was just calling her a German water woman, but her name is Suereyya. So we actually got a name to the person that we was talking about in the video. I stated my opinion about what she said in her video. She contacted us and wanted to have a conversation. And, if I talk about you in any kind of way, shape, or form, we can definitely have a conversation. So, Suereyya, thank you for coming on the Phillip Scott Show today.
Thank you so much for letting me come onto your show, first of all. And also, thank you so much for critiquing my video. And you, as one of the people who did not agree with what I said, still kept it very respectful. Other content creators call me out of my name and slandered my husband's name, so thank you for that.
Okay, interesting. So let's get to the beginning. So, the things I found out, she's not German, but her family moved to Germany. So you originally come from Turkey. How long were you in Turkey before you went to Germany?
I was born and raised here, and my parents came from Turkey to Germany in the late 70s. My grandmother came first, and then my parents came after that.
Okay, so all your life you was born. Did you kind of just retain your culture, the Turkish culture?
Yes, yes,
Okay, so is are you practicing Islam?
yes. Not all the
Oh,
way. As you can see, I'm not wearing my hijab. I'm talking to you as a man online, creating content. So yes, I do practice Islam, but not like I should.
okay, not as you, yeah, because I went to Turkey. I've been twice, so
Right.
I know it's a very Islamic country. Good people, treated very nice. I always tell people don't do the taxes in Turkey. Don't do that. Um, you know how I get down in Turkey. But I had a good time. I had a real good time in Turkey. Okay, so your family moved to Turkey. You was born there and raised there, and so let's fast forward a little bit. What stage in your life did you decide you met your husband?
What stage of my life? Well, I was in America, and we met through a mutual friend.
Hmm.
So that's how we met. That's how we started talking to each other. And yeah, it was basically me being in the States. I always wanted to see the States. My parents always had promised me you can go to the States, after you finish school and everything. So that time had come, and I was in America, and there was this one mutual friend, and that was my husband. Very, very simple.
Okay, all right. So, what was your overall opinion of the United States, just in general, culture? Just what did you think about it?
Well, it was very fast, very colorful, many, many people. And, I come from a small town here in Germany. I come from West Germany. There's a small town, that's where I come from. So I was not really used to all of the commotion. I was in New York, New Jersey, and in Philly. So I've seen some places. And overall, the people are very outspoken, very kind. And I guess me just looking like somebody that they were not used to kind of made them talk to me even more than I probably expected anyone, because all of the attention that I would get from everyone in America, I had never got it here. But overall, my impression was, like I said, very colorful, many people, and very nice people. I enjoyed it a lot.
Well, let me ask you a question. So, you say you got attention from people in America you never got in your, I guess, homeland. How did attention make you feel?
I was overwhelmed with it. I first of all didn't even like it because I didn't know what to make out of it. Why do female and men? They all wanted to talk to me, but the most of the attention I got from men. And I guess it was just my appearance. I was 18 years old. Speaking of the sexual marketplace value, obviously I was at my highest peak. But over here, everybody looks like me. So me running around here, not getting the attention that I was getting when I was in America was so new to me. And being back here in Germany, it's just like really no big deal because everyone kind of, we all look alike, especially the Turks. And I was kind of overwhelmed. I really didn't know what to make out of it. I was 18. I would never got, approached by men as many times, no matter where I went, by all men. It was crazy, kind of
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
and women, from what I see, are just about the same no matter what. So that came very intoxicating. That kind of attention, right?
Intoxicating?
Yes, like
How?
you said, in your homeland, you don't get no attention, but you came over here, and now you're getting all kind of attention from men.
I
You get it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I did get attention, but it was like in America, it was on steroids, you know, and that was kind of like, whoa, what is going on here? Why does everybody want to talk to me, you know? And I'm just this 18-year-old girl, literally still a teenager, and, you know, dealing with whatever I was going through at that age, trying to figure out who am I, you know, growing up as a Turk with traditional values and morals in this westernized country. And then you got everybody that wanted to talk to me. So it was not like I wasn't getting no attention here in Germany, but like I said, America was like a completely different story.
Okay. All right. So you said 18. What age did you meet your husband?
I was 18.
Oh, you met him at 18.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So let's fast forward to the video. Okay. How long you been with your husband as of now?
23 years.
23 years. Okay. You're 23 years strong. All right, cool. So what made you make that video?
First of all, that I don't know if you have seen the whole video. It's a couple of months old. I think I made it in the middle of last year. That video basically had me explaining about the cultural differences that I had experienced between Germany and America, and how me being feminine was so different to my husband and how it influenced him and impacted his life. That was how what the video was about, basically trying to set an example how femininity can affect a man. You know, that's what it was about. I didn't mention anyone specifically. I didn't want to bash nobody, you know, because I know a lot of people think that I made that video bashing someone. And what you also have to know is that snippet that had went viral, I didn't even put that caption on there. Somebody else did that. So me making the video and somebody saying Black women are no competition because there are no family values had nothing to do with the video that I had originally made. If you was to look at the whole video itself, you would see I was not offensive. You would see I didn't target anyone. It was, you know, I didn't generalize. Like I didn't say there was no family unit amongst Black Americans. I didn't even say anything like that. But everybody just focused on that, put words in my mouth. And, you know, people think that I said something that I didn't.
Okay, Suereyya. I'm glad you said that because I don't want to put words in your mouth either. But I get to the video and we'll both listen to it together. That way we'll both hear it at the same time exactly what you said. Mm-hmm. And when you listen to it, I want you to listen to it as a viewer, not as a creator. So your husband, what's his family background? Where is he from?
He's from Philly.
He's from Philly. Okay, his whole family, you know, born and raised in Philly for like generations?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So what kind of family he come from? Because the way you described it is like he was either not having a family or not having a structure or something, and you came along and my Lord, I've never seen this before. So I'm curious about his family and how he grew up.
I'm just going to say that he grew up in a single mother household. And yes, he did have family structure, but it was not what I was used to. It was not what I would see coming from my home. And that's why the video came, the cultural difference, the family dynamics and the family structures, you know. And
so you came from a 2-parent household?
Yes.
Your parents still together to this day?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's cue that video up.
I already knew I had him because there was simply no competition out there for me. But let's just look at it objectively. You had this average Black American guy who now was able to choose between what he was dealing with before and somebody completely new.
Why did you call him average?
Okay, very, very simple. 21-year-old average man. When I say average, I'm talking about something that everyone can relate to, such as average job, average income, average car. I know a lot of people, such as yourself as well, thought that I was referring to his looks. But when I sit on the internet and say my husband is all of that, of course he's all of that to me. He's the best looking man to me. But when I say average, I mean income wise.
Well, I wasn't referring to his looks. I don't care about men's looks. But when I heard the word average and a woman look at you as average, that means like just to how I took it. If you want, yeah, he's just average or whatever. That means that somebody can come along that's above average, right? And slide on in. And, you know, as a man, you want to hear your woman say the extraordinary things about you, right? Now, if you're saying he's working class, okay, working class. There's no issue, no problem.
Maybe I chose the wrong word when I said average, but yes, no, he's not average.
Okay.
You said no.
All right. So let me cue it back up.
Let me tell you, the moment I stepped into that man's life,
He really didn't know how to deal with my femininity because I was not loud. I was not screaming. I was not trying to, be louder than him. I didn't interrupt him because that's not something that I learned from home. If somebody would speak, and especially a man, you would let that man speak and then you would listen and then say whatever you have to say, right? So I was clean. I cooked. He didn't know what it was when a woman is actually in the room asking him, like, do you want something to drink? Before I got myself something to drink. Do you want something to eat? Before I started to eat my food, I would ask him, do you want to have a bite? I would come out of nowhere and just have a fruit bowl and just offer him some fruit. He didn't know none of this. So husband, back then boyfriend, really thought this was a dream come true. He didn't know how to deal with none of this because all this me coming through, just being nurturing by nature, his peoples and his family didn't even do that for him.
Okay, so you saying that nobody in his family treated him like to feed him food or, like any kind of nurturing from the mom, from the aunties, from nothing. That's accurate.
I could just see and talk about the stuff that I have seen. Now, I don't know what was going on before me. Obviously, somebody did cook his food and served his food and everything. But, as men, and from what I've seen in America at a certain age group, no, they're going to have to do it themselves. They got feet, they got hands, do it yourself. But me, no, I was do it for him. I was even cooking and, serving his mother food. It was not a big deal for me because that's what I've learned from home. I was raised traditional. Take care of your loved ones, everybody.
Okay. Just filling in.
Like the family, there is no family unit. The average family, especially Black American family, has barely a family unit. There is no breakfast, lunch, and he was in his family didn't even do that for him. Like the family, there is no family unit. The average family, especially Black American family, has barely a family unit. His peoples and his family didn't even do that for him. Like the family, there is no family unit. The average family, especially Black American family, has barely a family unit.
Okay, now I played it a few times so you can hear your words. Now do you understand why people kind of heard that and even why I responded to that part?
Yes, obviously, because I said average Black American family barely has a family.
So you kind of generalize Black Americans.
No, when I say barely, it doesn't mean it's not.
No. You said, do you want me to replay it again? You said
No,
average Black American family.
No, I know what I said because like I said, that's exactly what I have seen. I have been in a lot of homes within those 2 years I lived in America. So this is not even something that I'm watching on television. I've seen it myself. And again, I was always speaking because of the difference, what I am used to and what I have seen in America. I've been in white households. I've been in, Hispanic households. I've been in, Black family households. And it kind of just always hurt my heart to see there are people in the house, but there's really no atmosphere. There were barely people, communicating with one another. Everybody kind of kept to themselves, and there was no, let's have breakfast, let's have lunch, let's have dinner together. That was just something that I come from. And I was like, what kind of a family structure is this? Why are these family dynamics here so dysfunctional in a way? There was a lot of, screaming, arguing.
Are you referring to the American culture aspect? Or because see, you didn't refer to American culture. You said, so you was only in the country for 2 years. I've been in this country for 45 years. And if you were telling like something that I knew was accurate, I would say, yeah, she right about that. But how many states you been to?
New Jersey, New York, and I've been to Philly. And I spent
Oh
the majority
Lord.
of my
So
time
you didn't come to the South?
No.
Oh God. No wonder. I'm not saying all the brothers and sisters in New York don't have, in New Jersey and that part of the world don't have a structure, but you didn't even come to the South. I'm in the South, right? And what everything you're talking about, well, like that's why I thought it was strange what you were saying. I had all that and then some in my upbringing. Many brothers and sisters in the South have had that with your aunties, your big mama and great grandma and all that structure that you're talking about. We had all of that here in the South. Some people still have that now. You say femininity in the American structure. I will agree that, and I think more so that's a Western issue because I've talked to men who are in other Western countries, even countries like where you're living now, that even complain on the women in Western countries about feminism, having too much mouth, attitude, and it's not one race. I get white guys saying the same thing, right?
Absolutely. I hear the
So,
same thing here in Germany. Yeah.
Excuse me?
I hear the same thing people complain about here in Germany. It's a westernized country problem. It's not just
Right.
America. It's the and that's
Right,
what
right.
I always talk about the modern Western woman anyway.
Right. But when you homed in on when you said the average black American, and you only went to about 2 states, you didn't even come to the heart of black America, which is the South. You understand what I'm saying? It's like you didn't have much experience to kind of assess black Americans. So you got black Americans on the West Coast, they have their culture. You got black Americans that say in Chicago. I'm in Houston area, Dallas. You got black Americans in Atlanta, New Orleans. We have different, ways of being, different ways of living. You got the Gullah Geechees. You got so many different ways of black Americans that we have. So would it be safe to say you made that assessment based off of the few people you met? We're talking about black Americans. We're not talking about American culture.
No. From my experience, of course.
So you would say so that'd be like me going to Germany or Turkey for 2 years. And I come in to make an assessment on Turkish people or German people after just 2 years. I didn't even see the whole country. I didn't even experience everybody. I just kind of made it off of the small areas I've been at. Would Turkish people or German people have an issue with me saying, well, the average German family is this and the average Turkish family is that? And they say, actually, okay, where you went? Where'd you go? Oh, I only went to Istanbul and I only went to this. And like, bro, you didn't even go to the whole country. What are you talking about? Wouldn't they get offended about me making that assessment on Turkish people?
I would doubt that. If they really would not, if they have a family structure, why get mad at it? But they probably would say,
no, Suereyya, listen, in them other countries, they really got a hard on about foreigners. You know that. Even in the African continent, they serious about foreigners saying something about their country. So you mean to tell me in Turkey or Germany, if I come as a foreigner, I only been there 2 years, and I made a video online and saying the average German family is this, and the third, and German people or Turkish people hear me say that, and they know I don't have much experience, do you think they would come at me the same way that black American people kind of came at you?
I swear to God, no. They would not. Not the way that I was receiving backlash. They may be like, no, it is not true, but they will move on. They would be like, you didn't see the whole country, you didn't experience everything. Obviously, I don't know who you bumped in with or whatsoever, but the type of backlash I received. So basically, they took issue. They would take an issue, but we'll go into why the backlash went so fierce at you. We'll get to that part. So let's cue it back up so we can finish it off, and then we'll get to why you got so much severe backlash.
There is no breakfast, lunch, and dinner at set times. And these are things that I introduced my husband to with my family. Can you imagine that impact that I had on him back then? So gentlemen, do not be afraid of traveling. There are so many more women out there who are willing to take care of you. It doesn't matter if they're young. It doesn't matter if they're older. They are willing to take care of you, willing to work with you, willing to be a part of your life. You don't have to deal with whatever you are dealing with back in your hometown, because unfortunately, a lot of American women are lost in the delusional world that they are living in, and they don't even understand that they are going to be lonely for a long time, if not for the rest of their life.
Now, right there, I'm going to make some concessions with you, okay? Because I'm all about truth, right? The concession is this. In America, you really don't have that. That's just a lifestyle in general. America, like you said, when you came here, America was so fast, right? At one point in time, I think just about all cultures in America, when we had more of the traditional family, where the man goes out to work, he can work one job, mom stays home, take care of the kids and all of that. We used to have that in America. We talking about all families. Now, I'm not trying to get too much into politics, but when people want that nostalgia and all of that, or the 1950s thought process, is more so that time period of, women were in the home, women worked, men, in the home, men worked outside. What Betty Friedman came in later and said and related to the lifestyle you're talking about as a form of servitude and, oh, that's beneath you and slavery and women need to work, and got women out of the household. And then the feminist movement came in. Then, of course, Margaret Sanger and all the unaliving of children in the womb. And now what you have today is, just to be honest with you, is that it's kind of rare to have someone that's want to be a stay-at-home mom. Some people do want to do it, don't get me wrong, but it's going to be more so the minority, at least in American culture or pretty much the Western world. It's going to be a minority. So what you said about you could travel and get that, a lot of times men, just be honest with you, Suereyya, they're not going to Western countries for that. They're going to Latin America because it's still traditional. Some of them are going to the Caribbean, the African continent, Asian continent. But if they go to Canada or Germany, for that matter, right? Somewhere now, maybe your country is a little different, Turkey, because it's very heavy Islamic. So you still have some traditions there. I mean, you well know that. And that's probably what some of your traditions is still kind of hold there because you come from an Islamic background. But it's safe to say that in the Western world, it's very hard pressed to find what you're talking about today. Very hard pressed.
You're totally right. I agree with that. But I also always put an emphasis in my videos on Black American men. You know, I don't know if you know, here in Germany, a lot of women, they love Black American men. And when they actually are with one, they are willing to do everything for them, cooking, cleaning, while they have their career going on. I'm talking about traditional traits still ongoing, even though life over here is fast too. Not as fast as in America. Yes, I agree. But it gets hectic here too. We have our 40-hour job, you know, we go to the gym, we go to school, we got our life going on. But as soon as this Black American man comes into play, we compromise. We cook, we clean. Hey, are you okay? Do you need anything? Do you need help? And I'm not the only one that did that, that does that. I'm talking to multiple women who are doing this. So yes, this.
I have heard that assessment from some Black American men that's been in the military.
Right.
I've actually met some German women here that married Black American men who was military, and they moved here, and that's how they kind of got over here. Or I've heard that assessment, just like I've heard that assessment about Australia as well. If Black American men go over there, but the question is, before I continue, why is it they willing to jump through hoops for Black American men? I mean, do they treat German men the same?
It's a thing of attraction. You know, me, for instance, I was always attracted to Black men. I hear a lot of people say, why didn't no German man check for you? Oh, they checked for me. They still checking for me today, even Turkish men. But I was always focused on the Black American men I always wanted to have. And other women are just like that. So it's not even about that they cannot have Germans. No, it's a Black American thing because we like the culture. We like the way they talk, they look, they dress, you know, and we don't have much access to them over here unless you live near a military base. That's a different story.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, they're very desired over here.
And how did your family feel about that?
They were fine. My family is traditional Turkish. I'm not going to lie. Of course, my parents probably wouldn't want me to marry a Turk. But when they met my husband, of course, then boyfriend, they said, as long as this man loves you and he treats you well, he's welcome to our family. And that's like the westernized part of my family since they've been here for so many years, you know.
So let me continue this here.
Say by choice, but I don't believe them.
Okay. All right. So you're talking about them being single and all of that, which, you know, that's what somebody want to do. That's on them. But what I say, I would say this, but just based on, I mean, could you concede the fact that at least with Black American people, since you only went to 2 states and you didn't really even come to the heart of Black America, you just kind of made your assessment off of the people you met just in those 2 states. That's safe to say.
When I was talking about the family structure, yes. Overall,
I'm talking about, you know, in Black America.
I never addressed Black America like itself. Just when I talked about.
Well, when you said the average Black American family, I mean, think about the words you're using. You said the average Black American family. So to the listener, they're gonna, even though in your mind you may think, I wasn't saying it like that, but to the viewer and why people came at you is because basically what they heard was, y'all ain't got no family structure. Y'all just a feral group of people. And I met my husband, and like he just didn't know what home training structure was and nothing. And I showed him all that, and I was feminine, and he just said that, oh my God, I've never had that before. You get how it comes across to the listener?
Yeah, I guess, but I made my statement based off of my experience that I had in America in those states.
Yeah, limited experience. We limited, correct?
Excuse me, limited?
Yes, you only went to 2 states. You didn't come to the South.
No, I didn't.
So it's say limited experience.
Obviously.
Okay, all right. That's all we're trying to get. So now let me get to why the backlash happened. Okay. Not only the assessment part, which you had limited experience with Black Americans, except 2 states. We both going to concede to that. But in the way you identify in your country, at least of origin, is Turkish, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Well, everybody's mostly Turkish. Y'all don't call each other white in Turkey, right?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. So this is why the backlash came to you specifically. Probably more than I know if other groups of people said it, it would be a backlash, but I'm gonna say why it came to you specifically. Okay. So you have a woman who is looking at it, a European. We talking about 2 Black American people. You got a European woman, all white woman who speak with an accent, coming to America, telling Black people that basically we don't really have no family. I got one of them, and I had this. I also feminine, and even the part of the video, and you know the part where it said that there wasn't no competition. That's the main thing. I think that set the women off more than the men. But the most, so I'm gonna say the women. Some of the women got kind of upset about the competition part, but I'm just gonna focus on the nitty gritty because of your background and how. And you may say, well, do you feel you're white, or you just say you're Turkish?
I'm Turkish. I don't. When you see white people here in Germany who are from Germany, they're white. I am not like them. No, I'm not white.
Okay, so do you have what more so like do you have some Arabic in your background too?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, just to most people that saw that video, and they put German woman on top of it. And say, who is this white woman from Germany gonna sit up here and talk about Black Americans like that? And because it's you said it, that's when the backlash just really came. I'm gonna say the sisters were really. I know the sisters were pretty. I saw some of the videos. They wasn't too happy with you.
I know, and I totally understand that. Because they only focus like on this one caption. That caption and the words that I said in that one sequence, of course, that's going to cause a whole lot of uproar. If I would have been in their shoes, I probably would have reacted the same way. Like, who the hell is she? Why did she talk like that? But when you look at the whole video, I'm talking in my whole content. And of course, people are not going to take their time and do that. I'm talking about westernized culture. And I'm, on my platform, I'm not talking about like Black women. No, I'm not doing that. I've seen that a lot within these last couple of days. I'm always talking about bring back femininity. Stop being, like this, like that. But yeah, I agree with that statement. I would have been mad too.
Okay, see, and once you have a conversation, you just gotta say, okay, I get it, I see it, and listen, I'm gonna tell you from experience. I've been doing this 12 years. People are not gonna go watch your whole video. It's just not happening. You could preach that all day. Now, some people may go watch the whole video, so let me hear what she fully had to say. But that's probably gonna be more the minority. People are gonna take that clip and they're gonna say, what did she just say? Or what did he say? Listen, I've had that happen to me too. Where people took a clip of something. I made a video an hour long, and they took maybe a minute or two, and then now they mad at me about something I said. So, what I've learned over the years, just to maybe give you some advice, is make sure I'm very clear in what I say, and nobody can assume much because I'm very, very plain in my commentaries. So that way, if any part they snip, I can deal with it. I won't say, well, go watch the whole video. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. And like I said, that video is so old. I had started my YouTube channel, I think last year, and that was one of my first videos. Of course, but I don't do it for that long yet. But of course, as you post it and talking about things, the way you say things, you learn, So, but like I said, and like you said, when they take something out and somebody puts a caption on it, it just blows off. It's just.
Right. So is anything, how did your husband feel about this, all this coming out?
All the backlash or the video going viral? Which part?
All of it.
All of it. He said it's crazy. What's happening is crazy. The backlash, he really didn't understand why it was, it was that much of a backlash because I didn't attack nobody like personally, especially I never said Black women. And I know a lot of women got upset pretending that I said Black women. I'm getting all of these greasy messages. All of a sudden, he's receiving messages from women, pictures and stuff like that. That kind of had me thinking like, whoa, what's going on? But he just doesn't really understand. I mean,
Wait,
obviously,
wait, wait. Hold on. They found his page?
they found his Instagram, and I'm telling you, my husband is very, very inactive when it comes to social media.
So what pictures were they sending him?
I don't even want to get into it. Like seductive poses. Barely dressed.
Okay, fine. They were just trying to show themselves, but what were they saying to him about those pictures?
Don't you want to be with a real woman? Stuff like that.
Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah,
I thought they went to cuss him out. I didn't know they were sending pictures like that.
I'm the one who's getting cussed out, but he's the one who's he's the one where women want to try to show themselves, and I guess trying to break up our marriage. I have no idea. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Yeah, that's part of the internet. I will say that much. That's why you got to be careful on what you say and all of that, and also, especially when you address an American audience, you definitely got to be careful of the racial dynamics in your conversation. Especially, I'm going to keep it 100, especially coming from you. You may say, well, I'm not white, but when people look at you in America, they're going to say, oh, that's a white woman with dark hair.
Oh, I thought you said dog hair. Yeah, dark hair. Yeah.
Dark hair. I didn't say dog. I said dark.
Okay, that's the dog. Yeah, I get that. I understand. And that's fine. That's fine. I mean, it's not fine that they think of me like that, but objectively speaking, I understand. Trust me, I do.
Yeah. That's why in the video, I was saying that, well, why don't you give an assessment of Turkish men or German men? Well, I didn't say Turkish, but German men or whatever I said at the time. I said, because that's the community that you come from or the community that you know. And based off of the interview here, the limited experience you had, like I say, I think if you'd have kept it more the conversation to the Western culture or more so the Western conversation, I think it'd have been fine. But when you start go ahead.
Now, I was just going to say that's what the video itself was about, traditional values versus Westernized family dynamics. But when it got to that one sequence, I said what I said, and they just took that out of there. And of course, it's going to look like I was saying something completely different.
Yeah. Your husband should have put you on game a long time ago about some of those things, because you're like, okay, watch what you say here. Don't say that. It just should put you on game, because that content creation thing is crazy. So what's changed after all this has been going on? What's changed?
What has changed as far as talking about my channel?
No, not in your relationship, just in general. Like anything's changed, like maybe somebody on the job seen it, or your platform grew. What's changed?
The platform was definitely grew. What was very surprisingly, which I'm happy about, is that some women reached out to me because I have my email address in my section for my information. They reached out to me saying, can you teach me how to be more feminine? I didn't have the privilege to grow up in a 2-parent household, and that literally touched my heart, because that's really what I want. If there's anyone out there that I could help as far as how to master the basics as far as being feminine, I'm gladly and more than happy to do so. So that's the most humbling and surprising part to me, which I really appreciate. Of course, a lot of men are reaching out to, where can I go in Germany to meet a woman like you? All of that is happening as well. But as far as the biggest change, my channel grew and the women reached out to me, and the support that I've received as far as don't get the negativity, let it get to your head. And that's what I most definitely appreciate the most.
Okay, so basically you're trying to morph into a femininity coach, basically?
That's what the Westernized countries need.
Yeah, okay. I'm talking about you. So femininity coach, and probably the majority of men is reaching out to you. They probably need to find out if they got a U.S. passport first before they ask any questions. And it's just that simple. But okay, all right. Well, I guess some positivity for you came out of it. But yeah, we learned a little bit. Definitely, just your background and what you got going on. Definitely, Suereyya, tell people how they can, maybe check out your channel or your Instagram or anything you got going on.
I don't have much going on Instagram besides these usual stories. But as far as my YouTube, like I said, I speak about femininity that I feel as though it needs to be brought back. And that goes for any country and any culture, because all this Westernized mindsets and this toxic feminism is really not going to get us anywhere, not as women and not as future families or society. So if anybody feels free, you can come check out my YouTube channel. It's called Suereyya Brooks, very simple as my name. And you will find, videos about how you can be more feminine, about how women should conduct themselves and behave, especially in public or within their home. Because I feel as though there's a lot of red pill content that tells women, you do this, that is wrong, this is wrong. But I would like to offer like solution-oriented videos, how you can, be more feminine, even though you feel as though you got to have your guard up all of the time because you have to go to work, you got to pay bills, and life is hard. I understand that, but we have to get out of that victim mode. People talking about, I'm traumatized. Yeah, my family went through trauma too. They're not Germans. They had their issues with Germans here in Germany as Turks, but we have to get past all of that, and that's where my channel comes in.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this much. You've been married 20 plus years. So even that alone and just given what kind of kept you and your husband together, or things maybe you have applied to help y'all stay together, that alone is a big help, right? Especially talking to the ladies and things like that. So, like I said, it definitely was no issue with me. I just, to see content, I react to it, but definitely like to have conversation with people. So Suereyya, thank you for taking the time out of your evening to join us here on the show, and definitely, you and your family, y'all be blessed.
Thank you for having me, and you and your family be blessed as well.